Lancia Beta Trevi, 828 1980–1983. The Lancia Trevi, Type 828, initially marketed as the Lancia Beta Trevi, is a saloon car that was produced between 1980 and 1984. It has transversely mounted inline four-cylinder engines driving the front wheels. Its engines have twin overhead camshafts and electronic ignition. The clutch is a single dry plate with diaphragm and a 5-speed gearbox with standard. The suspension consists of McPherson struts all round with coil springs and anti-roll bar. The wheels are fitted with 185/65 14-inch tires, Pirelli P6. Steering is rack and pinion. The manufacturer's estimated fuel consumption is 29.4 miles per gallon, 9.6 liters/100 kilometers, at 75 miles per hour for the 1600 manual and 28 miles per gallon, 10.1 liters/100 kilometers, at 75 miles per hour for the 2000 manual. The 2000 fitted with an automatic transmission had an official fuel consumption of 25.4 miles per gallon, 11.1 liters/100 kilometers, at 75 miles per hour. The Lancia Beta Trevi was presented at the Turin Auto Show in May 1980. It was presented to the UK market at the Birmingham Motor Show of November 1980. Much of the car was derived from the Lancia Beta. The most powerful version of the Trevi was introduced in 1982. This Volume X, VX, version had a supercharger. The name stems from the Italian Tre Volume, 3-box. Developed from the Lancia Beta, the Trevi, or Beta Trevi as it was called until 1983, was introduced in 1980. The chief engineer for the Beta was Sergio Camafo, who was also responsible for the original Beta and the Gamma and numerous other models. The Beta, which was fitted with the same interior as the Trevi, was sold for 2 years alongside the Trevi, and sold as the Beta Berlina. Sales literature from Lancia emphasized that the car was both luxurious and sporting in nature. Lancia's intention was that the restyled Beta would help to re-establish Lancia's credibility after the debacle of the rusting Betas. Lancia's position took an unreasonably big knock as a result of the revelation that they were buying back cars with corroded subframe mounting points. A new Lancia today, thanks to the overcompensation that was necessary to make their point, promises to be as rust resistant as any of its rivals, wrote UK's Autocar in 1981. The review continued to say the Trevi was a conventional 3-box saloon. It is a Beta under its skin, but most of the body panels and the interior are completely new. The sales literature explained that the designers set out to create a classic 3-box notchback saloon. The appearance of the car drew this comment from Autocar: the Trevi is, to most eyes, a rather curious looking car, an odd combination of curves and angles, that produces an incipient spoiler from the slight upturn at the rear of the roof panel. The introduction of a saloon body style was part of a general conservative trend in which existing fastback cars or unusually styled cars were given more conventional appearances. The VW Golf body was given a boot in 1979 to become the VW Jetta, the Citroën Visa gained a grille as did the Fiat Ritmo, and the fastback Simca 1307 was restyled with a boot and sold as a Solara, and the Saab 900 also received a 3-box version. The residents of Stade Lane wrote Telmanley, preferred conformity. As a courtesy to Reagan, Thatcher and Cole, the old-fashioned saloon, standard bearer of the bourgeoisie, must be reanimated. The Trevi was available initially with 2 engines, a 1600 and 2000, both fitted with Weber or Solex carburetors. In the UK, automatic transmission was optional only on the larger engine cars. In 1981, Bosch electronic ignition was made available on the 2000D models. This allowed the engine to produce 122 CV at 6,400 revolutions per minute, compared to 115 CV at 5,500 revolutions per minute. The Trevi Volume X was the last version of the car, introduced in 1982 at the Turin Motor Show and designed to improve performance without affecting fuel economy. Fitted with a twin-scroll Roots type supercharger, and carburetors, rather than the expected fuel injection, this increased output to 135 CV, 99 kilowatts. This development meant the Trevi was the first car fitted with a mechanically driven supercharger in nearly 5 decades, if not considering the 131 volumetric since it was a limited production run. It had revised front seats, a matte black sheen spoiler and plusher trim, with the seats upholstered in Zegna materials. As for the 2000D, the Volume X also received a much praised power steering from ZF as standard. Lancia UK did not import this version of the car to Great Britain and Northern Ireland. The carburetted 2000 was discontinued during 1983, and production of the Trevi overall was discontinued in 1984. In total 36,784 examples of the Trevi were produced. One interesting special model was a single Trevi bimotor built by Exabarth engineer Giorgio Pianda in 1984. This car allowed Pirelli to carry out tire testing for the upcoming street version of the Lancia Delta S4. To provide all-wheel drive and equivalent power, this unique car was equipped with a second engine in the rear, necessitating large air intakes on the rear doors. The engines were lightly tuned Volume X units, using smaller pulleys to increase boost pressure, providing 150 CV each for a total of 300 CV, 221 kilowatts.